Hello, and welcome to the second of 4 sessions of Forbidden Lands. Free League Publishing's attempt to do retro open world survival fantasy. So we're going to see how that works out and play with that. It's a beautiful box set with lovely faux leather covers and lots of neat stuff, and they put together a beautiful product. So what we're going to do today is we're going to have everybody give a quick recap of who their character is. I'm going to talk mechanics a little bit in terms of the roller and in terms of experience points. And then I'll reframe where we were last time, and we will get playing. This is a game that focuses on random generation of things. So there is a whole journey system. There are random encounters, all of that kind of stuff. You will not see me roll those because I've already generated a roll table for that stuff. So without too much further ado, Stephen, give me a 30-second pitch on your character, Lauron.
My character Lauron is an old druid man who took the path of healing, so he's dirty and grimy and likes eating gross stuff, or doesn't mind being around the substance of nature because it's all fine. And I think that's pretty much it. He's probably a decent cook. He's got the equipment for it.
Okay. There is a cooking talent to turn raw meat into non-perishable foods. That brings us to our rogue, Hild the Silent. Fraser, tell us about Hild.
Hild is a sneaky goblin, which is reinforced by their their kid trait, which is sneaky. And I have a lot of willpower now because I was doing a lot of failing. So I guess I'm sneaky AF now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
what is your kin? And you have some talents that are boosted by, or you use willpower for them, don't they?
I have my goblin talent, which is the sneaky one. I can turn some of the dice into successes after I roll.
Okay.
And I have Path of the Face,
okay,
which I can spend willpower on to appear as other people. I guess it's only rank 1 as well, so I'm not that great at it. I can't appear as, people that probably aren't goblins, but okay. I can very much fool people into believing I'm a different goblin.
Maybe halflings too?
Pardon?
Halflings as well?
Yeah, maybe halflings. Okay. And other than that, I'm a scout and a knife fighter, and all the sort of background of a thieves guild type thing you can associate with me. I went on a heist. I got some good stuff, but then I went in prison. I'm hoping to have a better day today.
Yeah. And you get gored by a boar last time.
Yeah, I was going to leave that out.
Okay, fair enough. Darren, tell us about your character, Brind.
Brind is the only young person in this group. I would like to make sure we are all being honest about our ages here. Brind has that youthful beauty to him, but he's also probably feels very alone in the world for young adult reasons, and doesn't mind killing people.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. I like that. You are our only human in the group?
Oh yeah, I am. That's also true.
Which brings us to our hunter, Gavel. Please tell us about Gavel.
Gavel, for an old guy, is very young. And he's a hunter. He loves the woods. He doesn't love the woods. It's just he knows the woods, and the woods know him back. He's adventured a bit with these people, but he's just tagging along.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a bear.
And I have a bear.
Okay.
I'm just smiling. No, I'm just kidding.
And everybody, you can add 1 willpower. Start a session. Give yourself willpower. I think that's how it works in Mutant Year Zero. That's how I'm going to do it here. So give yourself a willpower. And then some people had enough XP to do purchases. Let me quickly walk through that again. Experience 39. Okay, so with XP, to increase skill level by 1 step costs 5 XP per level. So if you want to buy level 1 of a skill, it costs 5, and then go from 1 to 2 costs 10, and so on. Talents are cheaper. To increase your rank in a talent costs number of XP equal to the rank you want to obtain, multiplied by 3. So if you want to go from rank 1 to 2, will cost you 6 points. And learning a new talent costs 3 XP. There's some practice rules there, but I'm not going to worry about that. Where you have to make successful rolls and take time and all kinds of stuff. And then normally for magic, you need to find someone to teach you. And it works as other talents. So I don't know if anybody had anything that they wanted to buy now. There are some interesting talents on the general list. You certainly have access to those.
Where is the XP listed? It's in your head, right?
No, it's actually down in stuff. So you have 5 XP right now.
Okay. Oh, I see where it is.
Yep.
Okay. Because I think I did buy something or was planning on buying something. How much were talents again?
So right now you
Sorry.
could buy level 1 of a new talent. That would cost you 3 points.
Okay.
Everybody else saving up, or anybody thinking about looking at the general stuff that you want to buy? It is fine to consider that and then buy the talents later when you decide that you want to.
I'll save mine just in case we come upon a lock or something. I'll be like, I think I've got lock picking.
That certainly makes sense. So last time you had escaped from the Saurians, these lizard folk in the far north, and after a daring escape, you had made your way across, and that's across the landscape. Did some hunting, and we're going to start you at a village. Now, I want to direct your attention to, I've put a new tab in the character keeper. It is called Roller. So if you will go to that tab, everybody. At the top of that page, you will see that there is a link. It is not a spam link. It is, in fact, a online roller. It's a roller that other people can't see. It's an individual roller, so I'm going to have to trust all of you on that. It is a very basic thing. Essentially, when you go to make a roll, the first line, those white dice, you'll click plus until you get to whatever the stat is. The second line, the red dice, is for skill. And then the third one is for gear. Once you've got that set, you scroll down to the bottom and there's a roll button. And once you roll it, look and see how many sword pairs are showing on those dice. That's your number of successes. At that point, you can decide whether you want to push it or not. If you push it, you then hit the push button. And now we look and see how many sword pairs are showing. If there are any skulls showing on the white dice, then you take damage. If there are any skulls showing on the black dice for your gear, you reduce the gears effect. There are higher level dice that will come to if that situation arises, but that's going to be the basics for now. So feel free to play with that and see how that works. And I've written out the instructions there on that roller tab. If you have the Forbidden Lands dice, you are also welcome to roll those at home. I am good with that. If you spent the money on them, then feel free.
And then if I use my pride, it's the D10, is it?
Yes, if you use the pride, if you invoke that, then you'll get to get an epic die, which is the D10. All right. So
there's no D10 on the roller.
Oh, actually there is. The green dice, the mighties there, they actually are D8s. The blue dice, the epics, are D10s, and the legendaries are D12s.
Okay.
They've just got the little boxes there for the plus and minuses.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to close some of these windows. So it is, I believe, that it's sort of like early to midday as you have arrived outside of this village. And I've got a picture there in the map thing that's in that slide that it's in the folder. It's a walled town. It's pretty substantial wall. You can see there, you probably walk through farm fields, for a ways before reaching the walls of this place. You can see that there is a river that cuts through, and there's kind of a large hill, low mountain that is at the backside of the town. It looks old. It's clearly a place that has been around for a long time, has decayed and come back. And you can definitely see that at that front gate, there is a watch person there. They're in, I would say, okay looking leathers, maybe a little bit worn, and they're up top of that sort of gate there at the town. So my question to you then is, does the group wish to approach openly? Do they want to sneak and scan around? How friendly or how not friendly do you wish to be? That is the sort of initial question they have to deal with. And Bryn, what do you think?
I want to yawningly approach the city openly.
Okay. Others following suit, or are you taking a more discreet approach?
So, Lauron is a little reluctant. He doesn't like entering the city itself.
Mm-hmm.
I think he holds back, and only whenever he sees others approach the city does he then come out of, I don't know, the brush or whatever cover there was to approach the city as well.
Okay. What about you, Hild?
I think I'm gonna stick to the shadows and see how Bryn goes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll let Bryn lead.
Okay. So Bryn is kind of, you're a little concealed back. Lauron's being more cautious. What about you, Gavel?
He's going in and he's looking for the place to sell his belts.
Okay, so you're also following Bryn up to the gate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is the bear is it back with the others, or is it following at your heels?
It's with me.
Okay.
And usually they give me grief, and I have to send them back, and it's always the same thing.
And this watch person sees, maybe the glint of the buttons and things like that as you approach, and he will look down at you, Brend and Gavel, as you approach, and he'll go, "Oh, hail, state your business."
I hold up my hides.
I just yawn.
He waits for some more specific communication.
I've got some merchandise to sell. Got some belts to sell.
The bear stays outside.
It doesn't have to.
No, the bear stays outside.
That's fine.
Okay.
I nod
Okay.
at him, and he just kind of wanders off.
And this guy looks at you, Brent, and says, "We're gonna have to worry about you."
Oh, why would you worry about me?
Because you're a punk kid with a sword that's come up to our gate and didn't answer my questions earlier.
You also look a little sick.
Listen, I've been up all night trying to keep this ragtag group together. I just want a place to sleep.
And he will whistle down, and the gate will open, and it will come open, and you will see a group of 3 goblins with essentially what looks like light leather and hide armor and billy clubs at their side, and they kind of open the gates, and they kind of motion for you two to come in.
So I think that whenever they start talking and the bear walks off, that's about the time that Lauron kind of comes out of the brush, and as the gates start to open, he kind of reluctantly steps forward.
"Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa," says the guy on the gate.
And Lauron kind of starts back.
I hold my hand up to the guard, and I go, "Just keep your voice down. He startles easy."
What is that?
We haven't figured that out yet, but he's nice enough.
He looks at you also, Brend, and Lauron, and he's clearly now maybe a little more reluctant to let all of you to come in.
Well, I guess I might as well step into the sunlight too.
So you step out?
Yeah, we're just catching up to our people here.
Okay.
The gate is open, right?
They've opened it to, they're the 3 goblins have opened it to start to let you in, but now this wild man of the woods has emerged, and they're kind of holding their position.
Okay. Well, I start walking in. If they stop me, then I just kind of look, and wait.
Yeah, they're a little nervous. Keep in mind, again, it has not been that long since the mist occupied the land. They have no idea who you are. You're strangers. You're armed. They have no clue. Though when they see a goblin come out, you will see that their demeanor changes and becomes significantly friendlier. The guys down here, the goblins down here, will say they've got us with yeah, go ahead, yeah. And the human on the gate watch kind of sighs and seems to gesture to let you pass, and they'll open up the gates.
And I kind of smile at everybody, and I guess this means I'm the face.
And you can come in, and you can see that. I mean, it's a modest village. they've got more space than they have people. Just at a glance, looking around here, you guess that probably there's a little bit of hunting. There's definitely farming, that kind of thing. They've been rebuilding buildings, and you're seeing about 2/3 goblins and about 1/3 humans here. And one of the goblins will approach to where you're at, kind of looks, and he'll say, I understand you had pelts to sell.
Right here.
Excellent, excellent. Is that boar hide?
Yep.
Oh, excellent, excellent. Well, we'll get you set up. Then I'll take you on over to the tanner, and he can help you out with that. And he'll turn to you, Hild, and he'll say, "Where do you hail from?"
That's a good question.
What is the name of the settlement that you were raised on?
Greenville.
Greenville. Don't know it.
Yeah, it's a very small place out in the sticks.
Everything's the sticks now.
That's true.
And he will reach out his hand. And he'll say, "My name is Ashbrand."
Well met.
Well, Matt, and you are?
I am Hild the Silent.
Ah, well, that explains some things then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I tend to stick to the shadows. You know how it is. Can't trust some people.
That it happens from time to time. And your other compatriots here? I've met your huntsman. What about these other two, the clean one and the dirty one?
Yeah, I'll let them introduce themselves.
And this goblin, dressed, I mean, he's dressed a little bit nicer than others. He's got actually some looks like maybe some cloth, has had some dye work done to it, sort of vegetable colors, oranges and purples kind of thing. And he'll say, "And young man, who are you?"
My name's Brand. I'm exhausted. I'm Brand the Exhausted.
Excellent. Well, then we'll get you settled up on a bed, a cot to rest. Then, if you need sleep, you do look a little tired.
Oh.
And he turns this person.
Of course, I am Lauron of the Wild, and I'm here to protect nature and these people passing through it.
Okay, that's fine. Are you all four together then? And it kind of looks around to kind of get an assessment of whether you're all just kind of wandered together or you're actually a group or what.
And I say, "Oh yes, they saved my life. Actually, I was escaping these terrible folks, and they saved me."
Listen, well, let's get you set up. We have a couple of taverns in town. We've got a smithy. We have a bakery. There are a number of things, services that we can provide. Very basic. Trade really hasn't been too good. We've had a few tradesmen come through and such, but not so many. The only thing I'd ask is that you be careful and not wander out in the streets at the deep nights. And
is that a road?
No, I mean, as it gets past dark, past dusk, when it gets dark, midnight hours, that kind of thing, I wouldn't be wandering around outside.
Why?
We've got ghosts that walk the streets from time to time.
That's a problem.
It can be. It's not a problem if you stay inside. We've got sigils and things. We've got some wise folk who mark things and help keep. They're restless souls. Used to be a lot more. they've faded away over the years, but it's still a problem for us from time to time. Most of us know a few chants and things on how to avoid them, but you're strangers, so I would be careful.
Thank you.
And he will take you and start walking you to this tavern, and you can see that there are some other goblins there who are clearly like maybe a little annoyed that Ashbrand has kind of monopolized your attention, and that he's clearly taking you to his inn of choice. And there are some other people around, but he does lead you over if you want to get rest and so on. And he will take you to the Three Skulls Inn Winery. And let's look. You want to sell your the hides, the pelts that you have, right?
Yeah, the very high quality pelts.
Okay.
I think they're +2.
Let's see.
Maybe not.
I don't think they're +2. I think you have a number of them though.
I have 2.
Okay. So let's find what those sell for. Raw materials, pelts. So you can sell those pelts for 2 pelts will sell for 16 copper.
Okay. Is there haggling involved, or?
Let's see what that is.
I'm more just curious as to how this works. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I think manipulation is the way that works. I know the peddler has some skills, some talents to work with that.
Okay. No, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
essentially it becomes a risky thing at that point, whether you get less or get more.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of these goblin, the tanner, and as you probably know, when you deal with a tanner, there is a certain pong, a certain smell associated with tanning. So the tanner goblin kind of takes you a little bit away to make negotiation because he has this wafting aroma to him, but he will gladly hand that over to you, and he'll say, "Are you going to be hunting around in the area, good Sir Gavel?"
I'm always hunting.
Okay. Well, if you find other good quality pelts, I'll be glad to buy them off you.
What is your name?
My name is Honeystump.
Just call me Predator. Okay.
Predator?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
So-
I thought that would be an apt name. Your children would have, your parents would have chosen a good name for you then.
I
Mine
pat
is
his
not quite
back
so
and I go,
apt as that. Honeystump doesn't really mean anything. There you go.
thank you.
There you go. Ashbrand will say, Master Bryn, do you need to crash? Do you need to sleep?
Yes, please. I'll take your finest bed also.
All right. And he will take you to the inn, and let's see what the costs are for a good quality human-sized bed as opposed to the mostly goblin-sized bed that we have here. Do we even have that as a thing? Let's see.
Surely.
Trade goods, common services, lodging at an inn. You want your own room?
Yeah.
Okay, 5 copper.
5 copper.
Yeah.
That's fine. I have silver.
Yeah, 5 copper. And how much silver do you have?
A D6.
Okay. So crafting items, raw materials, rare. So go ahead and roll the D6 for the the coin, I guess, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I got a 6.
Okay, so you've got 6 silver then. Because I don't think the money is like a resource die.
Oh, I was supposed to roll a d6 at the beginning.
Yeah, I think so.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, they'll get you a nice room that is human sized. They clearly do have a human population here. And Ashbrand will get a human servant to get the bedding set for you. And gives you a private room for you to catch your sleep, and you can clear your sleepless.
So I actually attend Bryn as well as his servant, and I tell Bryn, do not worry. I can see any of the unnatural creatures before they would come after you. You will be safe.
Lauron, get out of my room!
I think I get shoved out. I'm like, and I kind of slump down in the hallway to stand watch on the other side of the door.
Oh, that's very sweet. Brenda would never tell you he appreciates it, but he does.
Ashbrand will say, and Master Hild, what would you like?
I would like to sell my bronze bracelet, 3d6 copper.
Go ahead and roll 3d6.
Let's see. Shazam! 6, 9, 14.
14 copper. Look at that.
That's pretty good. And now I want to buy stuff.
Okay. You have the book, I assume, so you can look at the prices. It's in the back of the players section. And they do have smiths here, and so on. And Ashbrand will say, once all the others are away, he'll say, so what might be your group's plans?
Well, truthfully, I don't think we have a plan of action, so to say. We were chased by the people that I forget the name of.
The Saurians. Oh, yes. How memorable.
Exactly. They were very scary. And then we fled here.
I says, you may be approached by some people in the village. There's some division of, let's say, authority. I hope that you'll consider my kindness, as a demonstration of goodwill here.
Oh, of course. Of course. You seem very kind.
And, there are some of us interested in looking further out into the world. We've been cooped up here for some time, and there are young gobos like ourselves who are kind of interested in the siren call of adventure.
Indeed. I don't think any of us are looking to be homesteaders or anything. We're all adventurers. Such as yourself. We have the passion of fire burning in us.
Oh, I don't know about letting anything on fire, but I will certainly. I'm certainly interested, in helping you out, and maybe we can help each other out.
For sure, yes.
And yeah, the merchants will exchange the coin for you. You can buy some other things. And is anybody down on health? I think everybody healed up last time, right?
Isn't Hild a little loopy?
Oh yeah. So Hild, assuming that you take a night's rest here,
sure,
you can get yourself healed up.
Oh yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Am I messed up still?
Your wits are 2 down.
Yeah.
You don't have your wits about you.
Exactly. Yes, I need to gather my wits. So I spend how much? Was it 2?
That'll be if. Do you want a room by your own, or do you want to?
I don't know. Do people want to carpool or what?
I'll share a room, or I'm just gonna leave town and sleep in the trees.
Well, whatever you want.
Well, I mean, I don't know if other people are going to be like other people being. What is your name?
Lauron?
Lauren.
Lauron has no gold, no silver, no copper.
Yeah.
So I'm sleeping in the hallway or out in the, drainage ditch.
Yeah, there comes a moment when you're kind of sleeping in that hallway when one of the innkeeper's son comes over and says, "Sir."
I hop up and I, brandish maybe a stick or something completely useless. I
Sir,
say,
sir, please don't poke me.
"Oh, I thought you might be a ghost. Have you seen a ghost around here?"
No, ghosts don't come inside, sir.
Oh, well, good. Good.
He says, if you're going to stay up here, we're going to have to charge you.
How much?
If you're sleeping in the common room or in the hall, here is a copper. Sleeping in a room with others is 2 copper. Private room like your friend is 5 copper.
I think Lauren eyes him a little bit and then walks downstairs and out.
Okay.
I mean, I can always get a room that you can stay in if you like. So you don't have to be an outcast or something.
Oh, I'm fine with that. If someone else has a room that they say, "Oh yeah, we can all stay in that room," then no, you'd still have to cover me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, I walk out. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you can you want to head outside of town, or you want to sleep outside in the street?
I think I'll sleep in town because I don't want to leave town, but I'll sleep out, not basically in the street, but like outside the building.
Okay.
If Lauren heads, like I'll just go with him with Lauren. Like I would rather be outside.
Okay.
So.
Well, it looks like Lauren isn't heading out to the woods. He goes outside and you see him kind of walk around to maybe sleep in the alley.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, no, I'll stay in the room then. Holler if you need something.
All right. So 2 copper for those of you who do a shared room who are gonna stay here, and it will be fine. So let's see what happens in the street then. If you're sleeping outside, Lauren. Let me get my little encounter chance thing here.
I have no fear because my pride is that I can sense unnatural phenomenon before anyone else can. So I'm completely safe.
Okay. So let me roll a die here. So you will see that after it gets dark and after it gets settled in, this town is on a river. It gets quiet, of course, after dark. There are a few lanterns and things like that. You'll hear, the laughter of goblins in some of the houses. You'll smell the baking of bread. And at one point, you will see a group of dwarves that are kind of huddled together, and you see them walk out of one of the buildings that's over the bridge, and you see them go over to another building that looks like kind of ruins, and they kind of vanish into there.
And I guess for a little while I keep watch to make sure no one untoward is around, and then I think I go to sleep.
Okay. Let's see. Let me look at my little chart here. So it is late. What faces the moon?
I think it's gibbous.
Okay. All right. Which means?
I think it's a sliver.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
That I just illustrated my liberal arts lack of knowledge there, right there.
I
So
don't know
give
that
us-
either. I'm just
Okay.
saying. Yes.
Okay. So uh, there are clouds there. You can smell the river. It's a little stagnant. You know that the mist kind of polluted some of the waters. You can see that there's a well in town, and you will see this figure come kind of walking cloaked, kind of drag itself through the street, and it is walking towards this tavern that you're sleeping in the alley beside, and it's going to kind of come past you.
So it is not the it's not headed towards the lodging place, the inn, but kind of coming towards the tavern.
It's coming towards it. Well, it is a tavern / inn, so it's coming towards this building here.
Oh, I see. Okay. Then I think I kind of I'm going to stand up and I'm going to walk around the back corner where the alley kind of ends,
Okay.
away from it, and ready myself. Is there a back door to the inn?
It probably is where they throw the slops and things out.
Yeah, so I'm going to go around to the backside, and ready myself next to the door.
Okay. You'll see that figure goes. It walks down the alley. You see it walk up to the door of the winery, this tavern inn. You'll hear a kind of a doof, doof, doof as it knocks. And after a couple of minutes, you'll see the door open, and you will see this goblin very carefully reach out and put this little bowl out, and then shuts the door, and you will see this spectral figure drink from it. It picks it up, drinks it, sets it down, and then wanders out into the streets again.
Unnatural? Is this? I mean, can I see through it? Is
Oh
it?
yeah, now that you're this close, you can see that it's definitely a ghost.
And it walks back out into the streets.
And it starts wandering back up towards the hill.
I'm going to follow it.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy, not draw its attention?
Yeah, I don't want to draw its attention. Yeah.
Okay, well then, why don't you make a stealth roll for me?
Stealth. Okay, that's agility.
Uh-huh.
Nice. Okay. I rolled 2 skulls.
You rolled 2 skulls.
Yes.
So here's the problem with rolling 2 skulls is that you can't reroll because you can't reroll skulls. So what is it that you do that is louder than you meant it to be that draws this specter's attention?
So I think as I'm behind it, it's, going forward, and I can almost see it disappear into the mist as it's moving towards the hill, wherever it's going. And right at the edge of vision, that's whenever I cough really loudly. I get something caught in my throat, and I cough really loudly, and I see the figure stop and start to turn.
Yeah, it turns around to face you, cloak down, and it will turn, and it will come face to you. Do you run? Do you stay?
This is super scary. Yeah, I think I run. I squeal, and then I
Okay.
run. Yeah.
Then let's have you make a let's have you make a move roll here.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second, because I rolled 2 skulls on agility the last time. So isn't that damage?
No, it's only damage if you push a roll.
Oh, okay. So then I still have something that I can do.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was afraid it took my agility down to 0, and that would be an issue. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to make a move. That was 1 crossed swords.
Then that's a success. So this thing turns, and you see one of these spectral hands reach up like it's going to pull its hood back, and you're like, you do not want to see what it looks like under that hood, and you will hoof it back and take off. And where do you hide?
Yeah, so I go back around down the alley where I came from, where I saw it, and saw it go to the winery, and then I slip in that back door, and I just breathe real carefully as it wanders around outside.
Yeah, it does stalk around for another hour or so, looking for this stranger in the street. But by this point, you catch your breath and so on. So morning will come. You're probably awoken first, Lauron, as you will see these goblins, a couple of them coming down to the tavern, and they've got these big baskets of bread that are steaming in the morning cold, and they come to the back door and they clearly hand off these loaves, and because you paid the most, Brind, there is a knock at your door.
I don't think I answer. I'm sleeping. I'm getting my beauty rest.
Sir, I just wanted to tell you that we have a breakfast for you.
Just leave it. Leave it.
Well, you have to come down, but fair enough. And you will get the knock on your door, Hild and Gavel. And you hear, sirs? Sirs?
Hello?
Yeah.
There's some breakfast downstairs in the common room if you're hungry.
I think by the time they turn to walk away, I'm already behind them. Hop 2, step 2, I'm hungry.
Okay. Are you down with that then too, Gavel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You'll come down to the common area. There are a handful of goblins and a couple of humans here who are clearly early morning work persons who've come in here. There are loaves of fresh steaming bread. They've got butter, and they've got several different kinds of cheeses. You probably haven't seen good cheese in, maybe in your lives. But they have soft cheese and hard cheese, and they will slice you off some pieces and bring you water from the well to wash that down with. Yeah, the couple of the workmen will ask for your tale, where you came from, what how you came to be here.
Yeah, I'll be mostly upfront about mine, except for the thievery.
The thievery in the prison.
Well, I might say I was unjustly imprisoned.
The travesties of justice. Oh, they speak. Yeah. They actually seem to understand that. They go, yeah, we've got a bailiff, mayor person. She's kind of a pain. So yeah, we understand unjust punishments. Yeah,
Seems about right. Is there anything some folk could do around here for some gold or some silver?
Gold. They laugh.
Or some silver.
They kind of look at you. Well, I mean, I don't know. You might talk to the bailiff. Ashbrand might have some work for you. He has coin. I know he's worried about the bandit attacks we've had. You look like stout fellows. We could always use a sword to beat back the raids we get sometimes. The sneaky devils that come in and steal from us.
Right. Yeah. Is it quite frequent? Because some of us, I think, are quite low on funds.
We have it depends. I mean, we've had a couple attacks in the last few weeks.
How many come at a time, do you think?
It's hard to tell. There's such wily folk. It's hard to know.
True enough. True enough.
But yeah, sometimes they hit, out in the farmland or stealing crops from us. That kind of thing. It's getting here summer, so we've got some things that are coming in, potatoes and tomatoes and things like that.
Well, I'm not so proud as to not be able to help out with anything.
They'll say, one of the workers will look at you too, and he'll say, now, there are some places around that we haven't been to that we've seen in the distance since the mist rose. But we're not really adventurers, that kind of type. So you might look to that as a thing. I'd also be careful. And this he actually kind of gets much more quiet. He goes, we have a Rust brother, one of those folk, the kind of puritanical ones, who has a cabin here. He looks for anybody doing anything that he considers immoral. He's a nasty sot, but mostly we keep away from him. Swordsman, armored, kind of unpleasant. So I just make sure you don't go to the furthest southeast side of town. What's your story, Huntsman?
Our hunt.
Somebody said you had a bear with you.
Yeah, you guys won't let him in town.
Oh, well, yeah, it's a bear.
Yeah, it's a bear. It's not a boar.
Fair enough. Well, at least a boar we could catch and eat. We're not going to eat a bear.
No, you're not.
No, we'll get it. We'll all tore up.
Yeah. Do you have a lot of bear around here? A lot of bear attacks?
No. Well, we don't go far enough to into the steads of woods. I mean, since the mist rose, we've gone further out to do some gathering and things, but we don't press too far out.
Where are the bandits you're talking about? Where they hold up?
We don't know. They swoop in.
They come from a direction, don't they?
It's not necessarily that we would see. I mean, they're sneaky folk. They're hobbits. Little feral guys. Nasty. Knives and teeth and slippery, kind of oily. They come in, they grab crops out in the fields, steal our food, sneak in, grab things out. They're unpleasant folk. Let's come back to Lauron. I assume then you kind of stiffly pull yourself out from the alley and maybe go to find your friends.
Yeah, so basically I think that I slipped inside the building and I breathe heavily until, the specter has kind of walked around. You said it was for an hour or so. And I think I actually probably nod off inside that back room, like the kitchen area.
Yeah.
And when they start to move around, I get up and I walk out.
Okay.
Right.
So you will eventually find yourself in the common room where Hild and Gavel seem to be eating a fine breakfast.
And I think I kind of plopped down at the table with them and I pulled out some of my field rations, some of my food.
I'll scoot, I'm sure I've eaten like half of it. I'll just scoot the rest over and I'll just shove it towards him and I'll lean back and pretend to sleep. That's what rangers do or hunters.
Nice. So I eat up the scraps and then maybe there's some bones on a table next to us and I kind of crack those open and suck on those a little bit. And then I kind of stretch. I say, craziest thing. They were right about there being ghosts. If you guys had been around, you never would have seen it. But I see these things. And it was walking around. It came after me in the alley. It was scary. I think these people feed it because it came over and it knocked on the door of the winery next door, and they gave it a bowl, probably full of wine.
Oh, that's weird, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, you could see through it. It was a specter.
So when it drank the wine, did it turn red or?
Oh, no. No, it
Yeah,
didn't change color or anything.
It's probably just warding. That's how you keep them off your back.
I'm sure. I think that they were bribing it to keep everybody safe.
Not a bad idea.
I can show you where it was headed. And then, yeah. So, Lowell, was it headed in the same direction that those dwarves went?
No, the dwarves were headed. They're sort of across the river. It was headed like more over towards the north eastern portion, where there's actually some cemetery up there.
Ah, okay. So I tell them, oh, I think it was up near the cemetery. Told you guys that there's always something wrong with burying your dead.
Well, you called it.
At what point do you get up, Bryn? Do you just sleep in till somebody wakes you?
No, I don't think it's that bad. I definitely sleep in. Maybe maybe now. Maybe like right after the grave the burying admonition. I'll come down.
Come down. There's just a few little scraps of bread and a few rinds of cheese left on these tables.
Excuse me. I thought there was breakfast.
Sir, we put it out already. It's been ate up at this point.
Oh, you don't have anything else?
I could sell you a loaf.
Could sell me a loaf? I thought that was included in the room.
Well, sir, that's how we had my son come up and knock on your door to tell you where breakfast was.
You guys told him to leave it.
Well, don't work like that here, sir.
See if I ever stay here again.
Flash forward to like next even, and Bryn's all tucked in.
And he says, "Tell you what, let me see if we've got anything in the back. I can give you a little hard bread, maybe a little slice of cheese."
I guess.
And he'll bring you a stale crust and a slice of what tastes like some kind of sharp cheddar.
I think that's perfectly fine. Brent isn't a fancy person.
Fair enough. And so the goblins and the humans that are in here, they clearly head off to do their day of labor. Doing repairs or going out fishing or going out and tending to the farms, that kind of thing. So it's a typical village. Did you figure out what you wanted to buy, Fraser? With all your wealth?
Yeah, I can't really afford stuff because if I bought a short bow for 6 silver, I would only have some copper left, and then I can't afford arrows. So it seems counterintuitive. And then similarly, if we were about to leave and do stuff, I would want that silver for getting like a backpack and water skin and stuff like that. Backpacks are like 4 silver, water skin 3, and I only have 6 silver. So I think we need to do some work.
And as you are thinking about that, Ashbrand comes back in. He comes from the winery next door, comes back into where you are, and he will say, "Well, hail and well met."
And
Hello.
Lauron leans over to Hild and kind of pokes him and says, "You should ask him about the bowl."
Yes, I should. Do we know if that's a social faux pas?
What do you mean?
We heard a story that there are ghosts around here, and some people might, for some reason, give ghosts wine, and we were just wondering what that was about.
This is that's the drinker. That's one of the ones that wanders around at night Uh, we think he died coming to get a drink. We don't know. And when we hear the knock, I'll put out a little bit of wine for him. That'll calm him down. And otherwise, he'll wail at the door for hours. So you got to give him something. There are others that are more dangerous out there. He's just don't want to let him show you his face.
Do you has anyone ever tried to put these spirits to rest?
Yeah. The Rust brother tried a couple of times. But there's just one of him, and these things, we think that this place used to be a big burial mound. Like there used to be, tombs and stuff up at the top of the hill and things. So there's a lot of old spirits and things. As I said, there used to be many more, but it's gotten fewer and fewer over the years.
I see.
You're very foolish for sleeping on top of a burial mound. Why would you do this thing?
He looks at you and he says, I was born here. This is the village I was born into, good sir. And the mist was all around, as I assume it was in the places you were at. They had no choice. By the time I was born, they'd already settled this city like this. And I say city, I mean town. And
Yeah.
by town, I mean village.
Yeah. Word on the street is Rust Brothers are bad. What do you think about that?
They are kept well away from. We've heard old tales of the Rust Brothers before the mist. They were crusaders. They killed off Raven's daughters, priestesses, anything like that they disagree with. They knocked down the old gods. They've, since the mist has risen up, we've heard tell that more of them have been out wandering. This one came here 9 months ago, set himself up as a custodian. Our mayoress, she lets him stay here. He hasn't caused trouble recently, but I'm worried what will happen if more of them come.
Right. Yeah, that's a good thing to be wary of. Does he seem like he's pretty tough? What level do you think he would be on?
I think he's a trained warrior in chainmail with a shield. Knows how to use that.
Right.
No one here, even our town mage, they don't want to mess with him. There's nothing to be gained in taking that on.
Right. Thank you for your counsel.
What is it? What does he plan on doing, sirs?
Yeah. What do we think, players? What do people want to do?
I'm interested in the brigands. They're out of town. They can bring a bear to bear.
Yeah, we could take them unawares if you could find them and track them and take them on. But that's why I was asking how many there were, because I was like,
We don't know. And you ask, and he says, I don't know their exact numbers because they've kept to the shadows and they've stayed away. They get in through holes and they crawl and they attack the fields out there. I mean, there could be just a couple of them, or there could be a couple of handfuls of them. None of us, we don't know the numbers, and none of us have really wanted to gather a hunting party to go out.
they stolen a lot of gold over time, or silver, or copper.
And they don't take money; they take things. They steal whatever. I mean, whatever is not bolted down, they'll take, and they steal our food. Are you thinking about going after them?
Yeah, I think we're thinking about that.
Well, I can tell you that I bet we could pull together a little bounty for you on that.
Interesting. What does everybody think?
I think Brand is just wandering around looking for like a good fight. So I'm up for anything that gives me like a good opponents.
Let's say I could probably raise a couple silver ahead for the brigands.
That sounds good.
Well, you do that. Find us. Maybe they've got a hobbit hole somewhere out there. You can dig that up. They might have stuff.
So only 2 silver per head.
They're small heads.
Thank you.
I can't believe that we're, basically there's people out there trying to scratch out enough food by stealing from people, and we don't care about the weird ghost guy that's wandering around town.
Lauron, can I fight a ghost with my sword?
It seems like an easy problem versus an insurmountable problem.
Okay. Sure, you can hit a ghost with your sword.
Are
I don't
you
know if it'll do anything.
Just tell you what. 2 silver per brigand that you bring in, alive or dead. And if you find their hole and can clear that out and take me to show me the proof of that, I'll give you an extra 4 silver.
Listen, I don't know if my companions here know the weight of taking a life or clearing out a home. I think it may be worth more than 2 silver.
Let's have you make a manipulation roll.
I would love to. Empathy. That's 3, 4.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna use my adaptive skill and spend the willpower.
Okay.
And change my manipulation to lore. Because in the training of my childhood, I have learned the morality and sense of justice and ethics of the world, and I'm bringing that to bear in my argument.
All right, let's have you roll.
So that will be... wait, I'm switching skills entirely. So it'll be wits, right? Not empathy.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, 5, 6, 7, that's 8 whole dice.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, where am I? Where? Oh, there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Your lore is 3, and your wits is 5. Holy cow! I forgot how smart you are.
Smart. I seem like a bloodthirsty brigand.
But you're actually a scholar.
So I got 1, 6, and then 1, 1.
Okay. Are you happy with the 1 success? Or do you want to push your roll and take some damage?
Yeah, I'm gonna push it. I can risk
a
single wit. Okay, I got another success, but another 1.
So when you say 1, do you actually mean skulls?
Yes, sorry, I got 2 skulls and 2 swords.
Okay. Then you will take 2 points of wits damage.
Mm-hmm.
And he will say, okay. Let me make you an offer. If you do this, we'll give you the 2 silver per brigand you bring in, 5 silver for clearing the nest, and when you're ready to go, I will outfit all of you with a week's worth of rations.
So we got some snacks and an extra silver.
5 extra silver.
No, he was going to pay us 4 for clearing out, and now he's going to pay us 5.
Oh,
My ethical argument sucked, I guess.
He says,
Well,
well, how about this? And he'll reach in his belt and he will pull out 4 silver and he will drop those coins on the table. And he'll say, and I'll give you these 4 silver in advance.
So let me get this straight. 2 silver per head, 5 for clearing it out, snacks, and 4 silver in advance.
No. This is 4 silver of the payment in advance.
So you're only going to give us... So we're assuming we're going to take out 2 of these bandits. And then in addition to those 2 bandits, we'll get 2 per head, 5 for clearing it out, and a week's worth of snacks.
You say snacks, I say a week's worth of travel rations, which will carry you wherever you need to go, sir.
All right, it's a deal. We'll take it.
And he'll push the 4 silver over in the middle of the table to let you 4 decide how you want to divvy it.
I need some armor, so I would like all of it. I'll just go ahead and put that on the table.
I get up and I start heading out to my bear. I don't pick up the silver coin.
Okay. All right, so there are 4 silver and 3 of you now.
yeah, I have some money, so I'm fine with people having money that don't have money.
Wow.
Lauren's like, as long as I have a bed to sleep in, and it looks like I might need some arrows. I have a short bow. I don't have any arrows.
We're going to assume that you have arrows.
I'm going to assume I have arrows. Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
You should have like a resource die for arrows.
Oh, maybe I do.
Yeah.
Arrows.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I have arrows.
You don't have any armor, Brend?
No. I only started with a long sword.
Yeah. Leather armor is 4 silver.
What's the next one?
Small shield is 6
Yeah.
silver.
No, I don't want a shield. That ruins my image. I'm not going to go higher than light armor. I'm only going to wear leather, studded leather, no helmet, no shield.
Okay, studded leather, it's 6 silver.
How much is hide armor? Or
Hide armor is essentially leather.
Yeah, so
I think for this.
the basic leather is 4 silver, studded leather is 6 silver. Maybe we all just take out loans. Capitalism.
I want to buy some studded leather, please.
Oh, do you have some? You already have some silver?
Yeah, I started out with 6, and then I bought a room. So I had 5 silver, 5 copper.
Okay.
Producing 10 coppers, 1 silver. And then if everyone left the 4 silver, then I have 9.5. Okay. So now
Perfect.
I'm gonna...
So studded leather is armor rating 3.
Yeah.
And it's normal weight.
Yep.
How much is a dagger?
A dagger.
Or like a cheap, sharp, pointy stick? You guys have to have pity on me so I can, poke at something.
So
And maybe
like,
sleep indoors.
2 silver.
wait, you have arrows. You have a bunch of pointy sticks.
True.
So I have throwing spears,
mhm.
and then under arrows it says D10.
Yep.
Is that like I have a bunch of throwing spears?
Well, you have arrows for bow.
I don't have a bow though.
That is the thing. You have arrows, but you don't have a bow yet.
And a throwing spear is just a throwing spear.
It's just a throwing spear. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's not like
Not like a quiver of spears. No.
Yeah.
A knife is 1 silver.
And what's the difference between a knife and a dagger, damage-wise? Are they about the same?
Let's see. I like that they have the gear tables with the prices and then the weapon tables with the damage in different parts of the book.
Separately.
That's
Yep.
really good. There is no difference in damage between the knife and the dagger. The difference is that a knife you can only stab with. A dagger you can slash with as well.
Okay. So if someone will take pity on me and buy me, I guess one of those silvers, if you don't mind, I'll buy a knife with. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
Ash Brand will take you over to Smithy, take you over to the tanner. He will talk to them, and they will get you fitted out with a suit of studded leather. And they'll get you a basic knife then, Lauron. Let's take our break here. And when we come back, we will set you on the trail of the bandits.
So, Darren, I think here's what we need to do. We need to look like travelers or peddlers or something like that, so the brigands will come after us. So I say we dress you up to make you look like a farmer. So we cover up your leather armor, right? We put like a cloak or, something crappy over you, like, I don't know, a rucksack. And then maybe get that backpack that Fraser was talking about and put some like pieces of bread sticking out of it and that kind of stuff so they come after us. Because we know that they steal food.
Well, maybe the village will let us borrow like a wagon.
Oh, that's got to be expensive, though.
We're just borrowing it. They can have it back.
Or the brigands get it. If they kill us and get the wagon.
Well, then we'll be dead. What does it matter?
I think that there's not a chance of them lending you a wagon.
We're just borrowing it.
Again, not a chance of that happening.
Why are people in this world so stingy about their wagons?
Because it's super expensive.
Question. I think Brent might act like a guard, but I don't know. Maybe if you got a cloak. I'd put a cloak on.
So let me look up to see how much a cloak is. Well, sack is 8 copper.
A sack?
Yeah, just curious sack.
Is it a sturdy sack?
It's probably a sturdy stack. Yes.
Oh, so we're back then.
Yes. This is retro open world survival fantasy. So
And
yes,
can't
a sack
make
costs
no
8 copper.
Oh yeah, how many coppers make a silver?
I think it's 10, isn't it?
10. Okay.
Surely it's 10. I hope they did not factor in like conversion currency.
Oh God, no! I hope not. Let's see.
I was
really
listening to a
find it.
podcast the other day, and they were talking about how some systems have like a website where you can enter in, in my world, it's 12 copper to make a silver or something like that.
No.
God, I remember that from the early days of D&D, where they would have the conversion thing on the side of the character sheet because it was like, and then it's 30 gold to 1 electrum, and yes, so coins. It doesn't. Why wouldn't you in the section that says coins put in conversion? It's 10. It's 10. We're going to say 10.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either. I was like, it seems important.
This is a question that is going to arise in the game almost freaking immediately.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Ashbrand again, kind of pleased that you're going out there. Has handed you the money, and he will say to you, the last farmer that got attacked the fields were spin coins fields, and he'll give you directions out. He's probably tilling that right now and doing weed clearing. So if you go out to him, he may be able to point you in the right direction.
Perfect.
And the 4 of you can head out. And now, since it's sort of during the day, you'll see that there are, a mixture of humans and hobbits. Goblins out working the fields, essentially doing the basic crop stuff. It's the crops and the fields are very dense around the settlement, as you know from probably where you grew up, areas around there. You couldn't go too far out before you hit the mist. So farming had to be dense, sometimes terraced, to get the stuff settled there. So it is densely farmed areas. And eventually you will find this set of goblins working. They've got wooden spades, and it looks like they're digging up sweet potatoes out of the ground. They're kind of tilling and turning things. And they see you coming, and they do stop because they don't know. I mean, you're tall strangers. and one of them, he picks up his rake and kind of stands defensively. He's like, who are you guys?
We're just we're travelers who stayed at the Three Skulls.
Oh, good. Good.
Yep, they have great cheese there.
Yes. Thank God for the elf.
Yep. We were told that you might have some information about the brigands. We're here to help.
You mean little halflings? He says with a sneer.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that they have been stealing stuff, so I could see how you'd be prejudiced.
It's just them. About 5 days ago, we'd seen some signs, like some of the fencing and stuff had been torn away, and we'd seen some stick digging. Potatoes had been pulled up and stuff. So we got up early and came out before the sun came up, and we were kind of doing a pass through here, and we scared some of them that were raiding and tearing things up out of the ground. He'll say, Bagbone there, he got bit, and he gestures, and you see this goblin like has this big bandage wrapped around his hand, and he says, got infected. They've got from their teeth.
Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to take a look at that. I'm a healing man.
Can I ask out of question?
Sure.
Is this how halflings are, or is this weird that they're describing these halflings like this?
Well, they're probably feral. Any of the peoples, with the mist can change people. Things can be out there. These are probably like bands of orcs or goblins or halflings or even humans that have gone savage. There may be something magical to it, but it can happen. But they do seem a little more nasty than just being standard thieves and brigands. He'll come over to where you're at, this goblin. Let me ask you this, Fraser, since we don't have this established. Classical goblins are kind of green-skinned. What do goblins look like in this world? Is it one skin tone? Is it multiple skin tones? Is there something unique about them? What do you think they look like?
Yeah, I think it's multiple skin tones. I have that picture there where I'm like fairly green, but I'm sure there's like ashen green and different shades of green and stuff like that.
Okay, so yeah, this guy has more of a kind of a maybe an orange cast to his skin a little bit there, and he will open and pull that off, and yeah, his hand's all swollen up, like he got bit by something with really nasty, dirty teeth. The other thing that will strike you as a healer, I don't think you need to roll for this, is when you look at the wound, you will realize that there are two sets of teeth.
And that's not normal for halflings.
No, like how a shark has one set in front and another one back behind it? It's like that.
I see. So is this guy going to lose his arm or, die from this, or is he going to heal up?
If you will stop and take some time here, you can probably clean this and help him so that he's actually going to be able to heal this up.
Yeah, I think I'll do that.
Okay. Why don't you make a healing roll for me?
Okay.
And slide out a little hat that is the tipping jar.
I figured they'd pay us in potatoes. Okay, I got one sword and one skull.
Okay, all you need is one success. So yeah, you'll clean that out.
Yeah.
They've got some fresh water here. Use that to clean it. You help him rebandage it. tie it back up, and Spin Coin will say, "I don't have much on me now, but you can take some sweet potatoes for your pack, and I have a couple of copper for you."
And, I tell him, that sounds good. I really appreciate it. I don't mind helping out whenever I can, but this means I won't have to sleep in the street tonight. Thank you very much, sir.
Oh, okay, and he will drop a couple coins in you, and you guys can take essentially, a unit of vegetables each if you want.
Nice.
I'll carry no vegetable.
1 unit.
1 unit of vegetables, yeah. You can eat that as a ration, or if you have cookery or you take it to a cook, you can cook it for a unit of food that won't spoil then. That's basically the difference between like meat and vegetables and food, is that food has been prepared such that it won't spoil.
Cool. Is it possible that Brand, being smart, would have heard of the double things? Like, is it a lore check that Brand could do?
So a check.
Hell yeah. I'll roll some dice.
Brand heard some shit.
Maybe. That's another 5-er. Or, I mean, 8-er.
Yeah.
Roll. I got nothing but a single skull.
Do you want to push your roll?
I've already got 3 wits, and I'll have to take that 1. But there is no, because I don't want to get knocked out just trying to think about halflings. No.
True. But
Halflings.
I think I have something to help with wits. Let me look real quick. Because that would be resting, or I could potentially cast one of these spells. I think will get you back wits.
If I wanted to roll lore, how does that work?
So lore is wits plus your lore.
So what is wits? I mean,
That is one of your
that's your base.
Yeah, so that's your base wits. So that's 3 dice base, and you have 0 dice on lore.
I got a 2, a 5, and cross swords.
Okay, so you got a success.
Yeah.
You have heard that there are some people that go feral, and it doesn't matter what kind of people they are. That there are some things that there are old magic and stuff that will curse them, and they become these. They still look like people, but they're kind of possessed by a nasty spirit. There's this essentially that turns them, and they grow this second set of teeth, and they're cunning and clever, but they're not like, they're more like animal cunning at that point, and they will eat the flesh of people. They're cannibals, and they're also smart enough to pass themselves off sometimes as being just normal people.
Are they contagious?
They're not contagious, but their bite can be, is enough that it can infect the wound if it isn't treated, and essentially cause sepsis and things.
So I'd like to actually see how the spellcasting stuff works.
Okay.
So I'm going to try to heal Bren's wits damage with Cleanse Spirit.
Okay. Let's look at Cleanse Spirit here. That is the druid thing. Okay. So cast a spell. The number of willpower points you spend when you cast a spell is called its base power level. Unlike skills, you can never fail at casting a spell. Instead, you roll a number of base dice equal to the willpower you spent.
Okay.
If you roll 1 or several swords, the spell is overcharged. If you roll 1 or several skulls, you suffer a mishap.
Okay. So I'm going to spend 1 willpower,
Okay.
but a second one, because I'm a half elf. For every for my first willpower, I get a second one as well. I have psychic power.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that counts as 2 willpower.
Absolutely. So roll
And
2
then
dice.
I roll 2 dice as if they were skill dice, right?
As if they were base dice.
Okay, base
The white
dice.
dice.
I got 2 5s.
2 5s. So you will heal 2 wits for Bryn, but there's no bonus effect and no negative effect.
Okay.
Well,
And I think narratively, this is just we sit down next to a tree after I kind of wrapped up that guy's bandage, and we talk a little bit and just make peace with ourselves.
that's interesting. I would be like a forced therapy session. I don't know if Bren would really be into it.
I think you get a little bit nervous, and I kind of talk you down. I think there's calm words. It's not necessarily I force you to do it, but I think it's, and I think at some point you nod off and go to sleep. So you have like a little micro nap.
You just lull me into a nap. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'm just like, maybe I was already sitting down on a tree waiting for you to finish, and then you were like, "Go to sleep."
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, and then do it.
So coin spin, or sorry, spin coin will say we followed the tracks a little ways that direction, but they went through one of the irrigation gullies, and then we didn't want to track them any further. But that's the way they came from.
Excellent. Let's go.
And he will send you out that way. I would like to follow the tracks. I would like someone to make a scout roll. Now, if other people want to help, because this is not on the journey where you have to do separate different things, if other people want to help with a scout roll, if they have scouting as a skill, they can add an additional die onto whoever is rolling. Give them another skill dice.
Okay, I have 5 skill dice.
Okay. So you'll be rolling with your thing. You'll be rolling 3 wits and then 5 skill dice. Hild, you can help him if you want, because you have this skill.
Oh yeah, I'll help. Sure.
Okay. So then you'll get 6 skill dice to roll.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, there you missed a track right there.
I got 2 cross swords, 3 4s, and a 1.
Okay. So 2 cross swords is 2 successes. So you will definitely be able to pick up.
I'm sorry, just real quick. 2 cross swords is so we're always only just looking for cross swords.
Yeah, only looking for cross swords. That's the only thing
Okay.
that's going to get you anything. It's the only good thing.
Okay.
So 2 of those is 2 successes, and all you need is 1. 2 successes is even better. You are ahead of the game. You will follow along the path that he described, and it looks like the tracks of these corrupted hobbits goes up to the northeast into that next sort of northeast hex, and you. The group can head that way if you want to continue on. We'll be at afternoon then when you go into that. Essentially, the second quarter day when you move into that.
Sweet.
So we're going to do the journey roll, and the way this works again is someone will roll survival to essentially lead the way. Someone will keep watch and roll scouting, and that's essentially the things that can be done in combination. So there's a survival roll and a scouting roll. Who wants to do what?
I'll do the scouting roll.
Okay, so you'll be at 3 base and 5 skill dice.
No successes, no failures.
Okay, so now you have an option. You could hit the push button. There's a chance you might take damage on your stat, but you might get successes for with the rerolls.
If we leave it as is, what happens?
It means that if there is a danger here that I roll, then it's going to get on you before you have a chance to get ready.
Okay. I'll roll. I'll reroll.
Okay, go ahead. So you hit push.
So this thing, I got a skull and a sword.
Okay, so you're going to take 1 damage on your wits, but you are going to succeed.
Okay.
Okay. And who is doing the lead the way?
I'm going to do that. I have
Okay.
Pathfinder, which gives me a +1.
Okay, so that's a survival roll.
Okay. Okay. And I got 2 successes and 2 skulls.
Okay, so you are absolutely able to move the group along. There's no mishap. We see you move into that next area, and there's scrub woods here, not a thick forest or anything, but definitely scrub woods and some light, very light hills and things like that as you're kind of moving along. And you will, as you get forward, Gavel, you will stop the group and you will see up ahead there is a figure moving across in the open. They've got sort of basic skins and cloth covering them. They're kind of gray skinned, a little oily. See that sort of scrubby hair on them. And they are like moving along. They've got clenched in their mouth this rabbit, and they are kind of loping, clearly heading back to their site. And so you spot them before they spot you. And if the group wants, they can try and stealth right behind them or wait and then just follow their tracks.
I would like to lead a stealth roll.
Okay.
Mostly because I got so much willpower, we'll definitely succeed.
All right. Well, then let's have you do that.
Okay,
Can
so
I support him in his stealth rollage?
Do you have a stealth as a skill? Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You can give an extra die.
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll 4 agility.
I'm giving you tips from the back of my bear on how to be stealthy.
Yeah. Be quiet. Skill it'll be 2 skill then, right?
So you'll have 3 skill because of the bonus he gave you, and then 4 agility.
Right. Well, I just have 1 in stealth.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. You only it'd be 2.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so I got a skull and no success.
Now you have willpower, right?
Right.
And what does that allow you to do?
So let's see. Sneaky. When you're rolling for stealth, you can spend willpower points, which are automatically turned into an extra X.
Extra success.
Yeah, you may even roll first and spend willpower as you need it. So I'll do that. I'll spend 1, I guess, right? All I need is 1. Maybe I spend 3. We're super stealthy.
Well, that'll cover everybody then.
Yeah, I'll do that. Boom.
Okay. So what does that look like? I mean, you are spending willpower. You are being the master stealth person. So what do we actually see you do?
I think oh, I know. So as we're going, what I do is I plant my feet in a particular way that doesn't make noise, and then I tell everybody behind me to plant their feet in the footprints that I'm setting them as we're going through. Yeah. And then and then we're just kind of like textbook sneaky through the forest on a parallel path with these people with the fish in their mouth or rabbit.
So you've spotted these things. You spotted this one. You're following close behind. So you will get up and you will see this corrupted halfling move up to this space, and you will see what looks like the remains of a campfire and a stone, and what looks like a shivering child seated there. Look, who got like a cloak wrapped around them. They're shivering. They look cold, and you see this corrupted halfling moves up, and you see the shivering child kind of stop shivering. You see it acknowledge, like it's clearly there to trap travelers, like to lure them in, like they'll want to help this poor kid.
Yeah, it's like the scene in Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, they do this kind of guttural talk back and forth, and then you'll see the halfling that's just arrived go over to some brush and pulls up like a cover of grass and reeds and stuff, and lifts it up and reveals his bolt hole. And he goes into it with the rabbit, and this decoy halfling kind of stays in place and shivers.
Can we look at the tracks and determine like how many are here?
Ooh, yeah, make a scouting roll.
Okay. Oh, 3 cross swords, no botches.
3 cross swords. There are, in that case, there are 8 of them, but you can tell that like a couple of them are injured. Like you can see, you're checking the tracks, you see where they clearly had to carry some. So there are probably 8 of them, and only maybe 6 of them that could actually will actually fight you. And one of them is up here. Does that seem like a fair answer for 3 successes?
Yeah. Does it seem like there's another exit somewhere, or is that beyond the successes?
Oh, you know what? I'll say, yeah, let's do that. So with 3 successes, the other extra success, I'll say, yeah, you can tell that these things are cunning and clever, but they're not that smart. They've essentially found a bolt hole cave. There's no other exit from this place.
I indicate that to everybody in sign language.
Okay. So it's the 4 of you and a bear at the edge of this clearing. You're doing the hand signals. And this shivering, faking a corrupted halfling there, making sort of plaintive sounds. It does that, it goes, and every once in a while you hear it go like that.
All right, Lauren, time for a headshot.
Do they buy a bow?
Yeah,
I've got a bow.
Yeah, Lauren has
a
one.
But
I have arrows. You have the bow, I have arrows.
Lauren has arrows too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lauren,
I also have throwing spears too.
Yeah. Lauren, do you want to try and shoot this thing?
sure.
Okay. That's marksmanship.
Yay. I must be great at that.
Well,
Okay. So
2 agility,
yeah, and 1
And-
skill.
1 for marksmanship.
Okay. And what's everyone else going to do while I try and shoot this thing?
Hope that you're
So I can
quiet.
let-
Pray.
Okay. I rolled and I got. Go ahead.
No, I'm going to move into another position so that we can attack them from both ends if they come out or
Sure.
something.
Okay,
So I got a skull
look at
and no successes.
So, do you want to push that? To maybe take damage on your agility? You're definitely going to take damage on your agility.
What happens if your stat goes to 0?
Then you are broken.
Okay.
Now, also, I need to check something. Let's look at your bow.
Okay.
If there are any bonus dice for the bow, you have a short bow.
Yes.
You get two gear dice for that.
Ah.
So, why don't you do me a favor and re-roll that with 2 gear dice, 2 black dice.
Okay.
Look how generous a GM I am.
Okay. So if I completely re-roll that, I got 1 skull and 1 success.
Okay, so that's 1 damage.
Okay.
So we see you draw back and shook, and you will put this arrow in the side of it, and it will kind of shriek as the arrow goes into it. Who wants to try and move up and get it before it can perhaps completely raise the alarm?
I certainly will.
Okay, then Bryn, let's have you roll.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong column. What do I got? What am I doing? 4 plus 2 plus 2
Yeah,
plus
look at
1. Wait, how much is it? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9?
yeah.
Right? 9. Okay. And Lowell, I would like to say I'm swinging my sword, so it's an extra point of damage if it hits, according to the book.
So yeah, we see you cock back and come to bring that full strength there. That of course means if you're doing that slash, it would be easier for him to dodge a slash because we go to that level of stuff in this.
I got 1 skull.
1 skull. So
That's
how much damage is your base damage with this? 2?
2, yeah.
Okay. So that's a total of 3 damage between the arrow and this thing. And where do you hit it that takes it down?
I think I just lop its head off, right? We're collecting heads.
Run up and you will swing that down. It looks up at you. It still kind of looks like a child for a second, and then it pulls back its mouth and you will see the double teeth, and they're kind of grayish and black. And the second set, and at that point you have no worries about bringing that blade down, and you will lop this thing's head off, and it will roll, and there'll be that spray of blood on your nice new studded leather.
I'm gonna shove my sword through its body and say, "We should have bought the bag."
It looks like with that speed of success, with no major failures there, that possibly you haven't raised an alarm. How do you want to proceed?
I mean, I'm ready to go in sword swinging.
How big is the hole compared to our bodies?
Well, it's a hobbit hole, so
It's all you held.
Told my dear.
You will have to kind of bend / crawl in.
At best, there's 5 more of these things, which doesn't sound good. We could set the hole on fire, but then that would burn anything good inside.
True.
Hold on.
We can just start yelling and have them come out.
What is good in there?
Well, they might have stole some chainmail.
Here's an option. So, Hild, you're about the same size as that child. You could put on its cloak and sit there and shiver. We could come up as if we're trying to help it. They could pop out trying to attack us, and then we could attack them instead.
Clever girl.
And Hild, you have a special ability for that.
I'm very sneaky.
Yeah, don't you have you can appear exactly as someone else, right?
Yeah. I have the level 1 version, which is spend willpower, prepare a moment, blah, blah, blah. I can do everything except their voice or demeanor, and that would be enough, I think.
Okay. So yeah, spend the willpower.
Alrighty.
And this, I think, is either a manipulation or a performance roll from someone to draw them up here.
How about edible head? Like
manipulation or performance? It's a good thing people didn't all see that empathy was a dump stat or anything.
Yeah.
I could adapt something to the situation.
Well, you've got an empathy you have the highest empathy and the highest manipulation of the group.
Yeah,
Yanni McYonerson.
Too. I mean, I will gladly roll some manipulation with my barely acceptable four dice.
Let's have you roll. Now you could also spend a willpower point to use a different skill for this too.
Yeah, I'm thinking that might be wise. Yeah, let me do that. And I'm just gonna make it lore again.
Okay.
Digging into.
And what is this? Like, you know something about them?
Let's see. We're trying to draw them out with this sort of like performance thing. I maybe want to, like, because I failed that lore roll, to know about this corrupting thing. Maybe my education was purely classical. So I'm going to dip into a knowledge of the arts and the theatrical history of humanity or something.
So you give an oratory.
Yes, a convincing oratory.
All right, Bryn, you give your teen, theater geek thing. Let's have you roll.
Oh my god, that's not a single sword or skull in the lot.
Well, now, would you like to push that and reroll? You already got all your wits back, so there's almost no chance that you could break yourself.
Yeah, I'll roll. Oh, fuck. I meant to hit push, but I hit roll. I guess it's the same thing. I got one skull. That's it.
That's it. Well, technically, actually, when you hit roll, it re-rolls everything. So, yeah.
Well, I didn't have any skulls, so it would have re-rolled all the dice anyway.
So it's the same thing, yeah. So you will take 1 damage.
Yeah. Get that willpower back.
So you are out there. You're the one who's kind of out, doing the oratory, like, "Oh, I'll help you, small child," and with this thing, while Hild is kind of doing the scared child thing, right? And does that mean Loron and Gavel, you're kind of concealed?
Yeah, I am.
I'll be like behind the Mike, and I will be like behind the hobbit hole. Like when they come out, we'll be able to jump on from behind.
Okay. So this performance, as you're doing that, 2 of these things come out, and you are actually, takes you a second to realize Gavel and Loron, they kind of pour out of this hole, and they're low, like they're low to the ground, like, and they are kind of slip out, and they kind of start to move kind of in the underbrush to get at Bryn. But there's only 2 of them. It's not the full 5. So what do you want to do, Gavel?
I spear one of them in the back.
Okay.
Pin him to the
So
ground.
that is a melee roll,
Okay,
right?
so that's 2 skill.
2
Right.
skill, 4 for your strength, and 2 dice for your spear.
That's gear.
Yep.
Okay. 1 skull, 2 successes.
2 successes. So you will charge forward and you will jam this into this thing, and it will shriek. This doesn't kill it, but it does mortally wound it. Like, it won't take much to finish it off. Lauron, what do you want to do?
I want to shoot at the one that was just speared.
Okay, then let's have you roll marksmanship.
Okay. I got 1 success.
Got 1 success, so you will finish it off. Where you're seated, Hild, when you kind of drew them out, and you can see Gavel and Lauron take out one of them. The other one kind of is startled now. What do you want to do?
I would like to sneak attack.
Okay, you want to go and stab it?
Yeah, is there like a sneak attack?
So the sneak attack is doing a stealth roll to get up on people, and then the successes from that will add to your attack.
Sure. Can I do that?
Yeah, you know what? Let's give you that. You set this thing up. You spend a willpower. Why not?
Cool. Okay. Sneaky. So that's stealth. So I got one of them and one. And then I've got that's pertinent. Okay, so yeah, I think it's just this. I got 1 success and 2 skulls.
Okay, so you got 1 success. Did you get anything? And that's from your scouting, or is it stealthing?
That's just from stealth, yeah.
Okay, so you get 1 automatic success in your attack roll.
Ooh.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right, which will be melee, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 4 and 1 again. And gear dice.
Yep.
1 for the dagger.
Yep.
And then I have knife fighter, which gives me an extra skill. So let's see what happens. Nope, just a skull.
But you got 1 success from the sneak attack.
Right.
So you will hit it and do a point of damage. So you're like a blur. You were seated there like the child. This thing's attention was drawn by their attack, and suddenly you're up out of the corner of its eye and you stab it.
I'll try to re-roll too.
Oh, you want to push it?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Oh, shit. So I take 3 damage, but I do an extra.
Oh my God, Frazier. What?
I know this game hates me, but so I've got 1 strength left, but I did an extra damage.
Okay, so you did 2 points to it then.
Yeah.
It took a whole bunch of damage yourself. What? So this thing, as you come up and you stab it, it does kind of flip around and it bites you. And it bites you in a meaty honk of your arm. And you feel it and it does this thing where it's like serrated, pointy teeth. It kind of grinds its mouth on there. Which brings us to Bryn. Bryn, you've been doing your oratory. You knew you drew them out, and then you turn around. One of the 2 that came out is dead, and the other one is fastened like a lamprey eel to Hild's arm.
I'm going to try to cut its head off.
Okay, you really don't want to miss.
I sure do not. That's interesting. Never mind. I was gonna say maybe I get adaptive and I make this a lore roll, but I don't even know how I could push that to lore. So I will roll normally. 4 base dice, 2 skill dice, and 2 gear dice, and then Which is one more extra dice for sword fighter. That's that on that. I'm swinging,
Okay.
and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 swords, no skulls.
So you cut this thing in half.
Wait.
Sword.
I just want to sever it at the neck.
Okay. Yeah, you will cut it at its neck. It comes excruciatingly close to Hild, but you do it with such precision that Hild, you look down and the head is just kind of attached to you there.
Yep. Perfect.
I shake it up.
It actually, you have to forcefully grip it to get those teeth free from your arm.
Oh, gross.
There was some noise, there was some shrieking, there was a sound of that. These two are dead. And you definitely hear some noise from down in the thing, like they know that something wonky's going on. What do you want to do?
I'd like to step up to Hild, and I'm going to cast Healing Hands on him.
Ooh, okay.
So
You're my best friend.
I'll spend a willpower,
Okay.
but that counts as 2. And I just roll. What do I roll?
You roll 2d6.
Oh, that's right. Okay. And I got a 3 and a 5.
Okay, so 2 points back. What does that look like when you heal this horrible wound? Do we see any kind of magical effect, or is it pure poultices, or what?
Yeah, it's a poultice. Basically, you see me reach kind of into, a little leather pouch, and I pull out this. It's like some moss with some goop on it.
Okay.
And I kind of slide it across where where he was bit, and basically you have this brown kind of, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Brown stain.
Uh-huh.
But it doesn't hurt nearly as much as it did
Okay.
before.
Yeah. So it does, it still aches, and he's got that stuff in there, which doesn't look particularly hygienic. But you've got that on there, and it will start to heal it. So while Hild is being treated by Lauron, and you're hearing this noise down from there, like they know something's up, Gavel. What do you want to do? What is our huntsman's tact here?
I'm sorry. So I just totally missed what you just said. I apologize.
So these at least three are down in this hole. They know something is up. Right now, Lauron is healing Hild.
Yeah.
Brind is, cleaning the blood off his blade. What do you want to do?
Can I direct Micah to rip the hole open?
That's interesting. You could at least do it to make them panic, I think. So let's have you roll a strength roll for the bear. The bear's strength is 4, so why don't you roll 4 dice for me?
I have the same strength as the bear.
That is the bear's strength in this game. Yep.
Wow. I didn't know I can beat up a bear. 3-3-5-5.
3-3-5-5. So it will start to scratch at it, but it's probably hard packed earth and such, and you just get the out of it. It doesn't look like it's going to be able to tunnel down into there.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was going to say he's growling while he's doing that, I'm sure. So.
Oh yeah, they are freaked out now. Bryn, what do you want to do?
I'm just waiting. I'm gonna ready an action, if you will.
Okay.
Or when a nice half-o comes crawling out, I'm gonna slice off its head.
Okay. Well, let's come back to Hild and Lauron. What are you going to do to draw these things out?
I fade into the darkness like Batman.
Are you? You still can look. You still look like these things.
Oh yeah. How does language work in this game?
These things seem to have real basic communication, so I think you could probably try and fake that.
Yeah, I'll try to screaming like, all done. Or whatever, like
Well-
all clear, come get some good eats.
I think for that to work,
Uh-huh.
they're going to have to see you.
Okay, that's fine.
So you're going to have to crawl in there.
Okay.
Are you willing to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
And I just put like a lot of mud on my face and stuff,
Absolutely. So let's have you roll survival.
Okay, sounds good. Survival is wits 3 and
Can I give him a die?
3.
Yeah, you know what? Let's say yes.
It's me. I need all the dice I can get.
Yeah, because Fraser's still going to fail, but I want him to fail with a whole bunch of dice.
Yeah, 75% chance. Oh, I got 2 successes and a failure.
2 successes. So you crawl down in there and you get a ways in. There's just a little bit of light from behind you, and you will see 3 more of these feral sort of, Wendigo hobbits that are there. You can see there's some bones and things in here, and does look like some stuff. And you see there are 2 injured ones that you can see maybe are the weakest link, and that they are that it's going to be awful in a second for them, or
Right.
in a day once the other ones get hungry.
Oh, okay. So I'm like fresh eats, and then I run out of the hole leading them.
Okay.
I'm like,
All right. So you got 2 successes. So I think 1 success to get down in there, and then you Gollum run back up and out. And let me ask then: Are you waiting for all 3 of them to get out, Bryn and a Gavel?
No. I'm gonna start hacking. As
You can hack when the first one comes out, and the other ones won't come then. That's what you're telling me.
Well, when you put it like that,
Well, when I am putting it like that.
then yes, I suppose I will find some restraint.
Okay, so you hold, and these things come pouring out. Gollum is a good word. I mean, they're still look like hobbits, like halflings, but something's gone wrong with them. And they come out. They're caked with dirt and blood, and you can see when they open their mouths, they go wide, and you see that second row of blackened teeth, and the 3 of them will pour out. So you're all going to get an action before they get to go. So let's start with Bryn, and the one that comes out. You wait till the third one comes out, and then you go to swing.
I'm gonna swing this insane pool of dice.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
swinging.
almost no chance that you could fail.
I got 2 swords and 1 skull.
Okay. So what is your base damage with this thing?
2, and I swung for 3.
Okay. So that swing will smack heavy into it, and you will kill it.
Nice.
Gavel, there are 2 more there.
So I'm gonna spear one of them. Does Micah add to my roll?
No,
Or-
Micah does his own roll.
Okay.
And let me check. I think it's 4 strength plus, I believe it's 2 or 3 melee. Hang on a second. 73. Where is that at? Yeah. It's 6 strength plus 3 melee. Sorry, I got that wrong on that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
6 and 3.
6 and 3. So
Okay.
do you want to resolve that one?
I'll do mine first.
Okay, let's do your first.
3 skulls, 2 swords, 3
Then
fives.
2 swords means 2 successes The base damage for your bow is 1, right?
2. It just says bonus 2.
That's the extra dice you get. The damage, I believe, is 1 on that. Let me look here. Short spear, yeah, damage 1. So you will jam it into it, and it's not quite finished off.
Okay.
Do you want to have Micah attack this thing, or go for the other one that's been untouched?
It's gonna go for the other one.
Okay, so go ahead and roll 6 base dice and 3 skill dice.
1 success, 1 failure.
Okay, so Micah will bite into it and do some damage to it. So both of them are wounded at this point.
Okay.
Lauron, what do you want to do? You see Brind, cuts into his. A spear comes out. Bear is there. What do you want to do?
I figure the bear can handle itself, so I'm going to shoot my bow at the one that had the spear in it.
Okay.
Okay. And I got 1 success.
1 success, and that will be enough to put that thing out of its horrible golem-like existence misery.
Okay.
Okay, Hild, I believe there's only one left,
Yeah.
and it's fighting a bear.
Yeah. Yeah, but I know that these things are vicious biters. So I would
Yeah, they
protect the bear.
could bite into the bear and possibly cause an infected wound.
Yeah, then we get the golem bear. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stab at the thing's head.
Okay,
Neck. I want to
let's have
similarly lop heads off.
melee.
Cool. Let's see. Shazam. I got 1 success.
1 success. So you will. How do you finish it off? Where do you put that? Where you plant that blade?
Just in its skull.
Okay, just a simple chunk.
Yep.
Put it in there and done with it.
Yep.
Absolutely, and it will go. There's a squeal from it, that more of a shriek, and then it drops dead. And you guys are in the midst of just all this carnage. There are all these horrible black teeth, double road teeth monsters that are scattered around the clearing.
Hild, make sure you cut its head off.
Yeah, I have a dagger. Maybe you could go at it with your sword. I don't want to saw at it.
Yeah, it is probably going to be your job to take the heads, Brind.
It's my burden for having a sword, I suppose.
I think I tell Hild the 2 weak ones that you said were inside, you should probably, kill them in the night. Kill them from the darkness. Do it now.
What do you want me to do?
Well, there were 2.
I want you
There were
to
2
go
sick
in
ones. Yeah.
and kill these injured ones that are in the pit.
Yeah, that would be hard.
That would be an empathy roll.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they have a roll for that.
Leave the heads, Hild. This was your idea.
Wait, what is that empathy roll for? What does that mean?
So these things are injured, sentient creatures. If you were just right out fighting them, then it would be no problem. But in this situation, you need to make an empathy roll and fail it to be able to just kill them.
So they won't fight back. Is that right?
That is correct right now because they are badly injured.
Right. So we should let them starve to death. This is almost a mercy killing.
Or we could take them back to town.
Oh yeah, they said alive or dead or alive.
Yeah. So in this case, if they're injured and they're not going to put up any fight, we can just tie them up and take them back to town.
Okay. So you guys gonna who is going down to drag these things out of there?
Oh, I guess that's me because I am the only one that fits.
So Hild, you will go down in, and I assume you search the place, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, then. Let's see what you find down here that the others don't see yet.
I love that you won't kill them, but you're gonna rob them blind.
Hey, it's part of my character.
Yeah, thank you there.
My dark secret is you compulsively steal valuables you catch sight of. So
True.
And then, let's see, that is a simple find. And then a valuable find is... So you will find that they have dragged a bunch of stuff. Most of it is torn apart. Any armor pieces that would be here have been ripped apart. But you will find a bronze statue, like really well made, like solid bronze, nice piece. I mean, it weighs, like several pounds. I mean, it's heavy. But you think you could probably sell that for a good chunk, and then wow, and a bronze mirror, also valuable. You think between the two of them, that's probably 8d6 worth of silver. Because I rolled a 62 and a 66 on the result table there. So let me ask you this. We've got this bronze statue. You can't really conceal that. You're muted, Hild.
Oh yeah. Sorry. It's probably as big as me. So I guess I'll drag that one out.
Okay. Do you also show them the mirror?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
So he drags up two of these things. They're gnashing teeth, but you can wrap them up, tie them. You guys have ropes and things like that. You can get the heads. Do you guys have bags or backpacks or anything? Do you guys buy any of that stuff?
We can take like one of their ragged cloaks, put them in there, and just kind of.
Okay. Yeah. So you've got this horrible ratty cloak that you wrap these heads in. Who's carrying the sack of heads?
Oh well, if no one else is up for it,
We can hang it from theirs back, Micah's back.
Okay. It's a very sort of a Nordic Krampus kind of scene with the bag of heads, and you guys can head back to town. It probably does take somebody has to dedicate themselves just to carrying this statue.
All right. I'll fall on my sword with that.
Okay. So you will haul that back, and because you have that amazing scouting roll and stuff, you guys can get back to town before sunset. And people will be looking at you because you are a number of you are blood covered. You've got a bag dripping with ichor that you bring in. You've got this massive statue, and Ashbrand will his eyes will go wide.
This time they welcome Micah.
Oh no, they're still not going to let the bear in town.
No bear, no heads.
But Ashbrand will say, "You're finished already?"
Yeah, we were lucky this time.
Oh, and he will look at the two prisoners that you have, and he'll direct a couple of goblins to take them to the bailiff to decide what to do with them.
Yeah, can they be like exercise or something? Or
I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with them, but we'll figure it out. maybe after they're dead, but we'll figure it out.
Nice. Okay. And so, Lowell, at the player level, this is kind of just getting rid of the symptom, right? Like, not the problem. Like it's actually like a specter or something like that. That
There's
turns-
probably something out there that has done this.
Right.
You suspect something like this. There might be a site past that, some like cursed location or something like that. That might have been the place that infected them.
Okay.
So it could be possible to search some of those hexes around it to try and find something like that.
Yeah, maybe an archaeologist will pay us.
Ashbrain will pay you the money. So he will pay you 16 silver, plus an additional silver because you cleaned out the nest. And he will look at the statue and he says, "Do you want to sell that?"
Yeah, we can sell both of the things and split it up.
Okay. Well then, why don't you, Fraser? Why don't you roll 8d6 for me?
Are you sure you want me to roll it, guys? Okay, I will. Okay. Okay. So I got. Oh yeah, because it's doing the swords and the things.
Swords are 6s, skulls are 1s.
Right, yeah. 8, 9, 10, 16, 17, 18, 27 is 34.
So 34, plus you got 16 from these people, plus another one means that you have 51 silver to divide amongst the group.
Yeah. Nice. Once we get paid, we have that short little scene where there's like some music playing in the background, and we just got these coins, and we're like,
it's coppers. You're doing that. So distributing that evenly is 12 silver apiece, and then 3 silver to spare.
cool.
I lopped off many of those heads for my argument for the 3. Want to find it?
Yeah, I'm fine with that. You still need armor, right? Or something? You still need some.
He bought armor.
Oh, okay. Maybe you don't deserve it then. I'm just kidding.
I'd like to get armor. And how much more does a bow do than a throwing spear?
So a throwing spear is short range, so it's close. That's one of the sort of disadvantages of it. Let me find the weapon chart here. Oh, wrong book. So your spear does 1 damage, and it's short range. The longbow, I mean, essentially it does the same as a throwing spear, but you can fire it at range. So short range means 20, 30 feet, to be effective with that kind of thing. Longbow means you can hit things at a significant distance.
Well, how much is a longbow? How much is hide armor?
Okay, so
The longbow is 12 silver.
longbow is 12 silver. And hide armor would be leather armor. And that leather armor is 3 silver.
So if I can have that extra 3, then I can have hide armor and a bow. A longbow, if everyone's cool with that.
Yeah, if you want studded though, it's 6. I don't know what the difference is, but
It's an additional 1, and it's actually 5 for studded, it looks like.
oh.
What is the armor rating of
So
leather?
leather is armor rating 2, which
Uh,
means you roll 2 dice for the armor. Studded leather is 3.
I'll do leather
Okay.
since I have that much. So yeah, I'm gonna take a longbow and head armor.
Okay. Let's do XP, shall we? And next session we'll start out with you here in the Hallow, which is the name of the town, which I don't think I gave to you, with the goblins. Essentially, maybe we can talk about the delightful cheese production, the elves and the dwarves, the ghosts and things like that, or even explore for the site or take a look around. Sound good? Let's do experience. Did you participate in the session? If so, you get 1 XP. Did you travel through at least 1 hex on the map you had not visited before? Yes. Everybody gets another XP. Did you discover a new site? Yes. You get an XP. Did you defeat 1 or more monsters? Yes. You get an XP. Did you find a treasure, 1 gold or more? Yes. You get an XP. You don't have a stronghold. Did anybody activate their pride? No. Did anybody suffer because of their dark secret?
I would argue yes.
How so?
Because I stole that stuff real good, but then I didn't get to keep it all.
That's weak sauce, so no.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So what about my
go on.
dark secret is, and you enjoy wallowing in the mud and live off what others would never eat?
Yep, I will give you a point for sleeping out.
Sleeping outside?
in the rough, out in
Okay.
the alley. Did anybody risk their lives for another PC?
Yeah. Somebody came to my defense.
Who was that?
Me.
Okay, so we'll give Bryn another point. Did anybody perform an extraordinary action of some kind?
Yeah, that was giving up the money again.
That would be no.
I argue for more pay. I don't think that was
I think
extraordinary.
that is its own reward, literally. So we will take up next time. They'll feed you, so you don't have to worry about marking off rations or anything like that. You'll be feted as heroes here, and you will certainly people will regard you with more respect. And probably by the end of this, they will say, Ashburn will say, we do have a stable. I can vouch for your bear, and you can bring it in, if you keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Can we shop in between sessions?
Can shop in between sessions. Yep.
Okay, but we shouldn't really spend XP until beginning of next session.
Yeah.
Right?
Hold off, and because I at least want to check with you and see what you want to buy.
And if I want to go up in spell level stuff, I have to find a master yet. Oh, there is.
Yeah, I mentioned him in passing. So yeah,
Okay.
there is a mage here.
Okay.
So we will introduce you to them next time if you want to up your spells.
Sounds great.
Okay, so I'm going to stop there. We will take up with that next week. Stopping the broadcast.